Hello, everyone. Welcome to Theme Park Workshop, episode 51. It's been a bit, but life has happened, and now life has found a way back to the show and video once again. And I'm Adam Johnson, by the way. I always forget to do that. I'm Adam Johnson. I'm here with my very good friends, Bella Harvey
What up?
and Kelly Hoffman.
Hello, hello.
And given that it's been a hot minute since we've done the show, a lot of things have happened. And one thing we learned is that teamwork makes the dream happen, and we're going to make that happen today. We're going to talk about SeaWorld 60. Hoso had some announcements. HHN had some announcements, and more, perhaps. It depends on how long we go. So hope you're in for a wonderful grab bag of all these things, a catch-all, not catch 22. We don't have that time, but a catch-all. So we'll just go right into it. Bella,
Me?
of anyone I know, you probably go to SeaWorld Orlando the most.
I do.
And of SeaWorld Orlando, I'm hearing rumors, it's perhaps true, that they turned 60 years old
They
recently.
did. They did.
Are they
Crazy,
doing
right?
special things for that?
Oh my gosh, how funny you ask. Wow. SeaWorld Orlando to celebrate their 60th anniversary. They have 3 fun brand new offerings. I almost forgot one. First off, we got the Shamu and Crew breakfast every Saturday morning at Seafire Grill. $30 a person. I haven't seen it, but I've seen videos. Basically, Shamu's a DJ, and that's really all you need to know going into it. It looks like a very fun event for kids. I've seen a lot of people on the SeaWorld Pass holder page talking about it and posting about it. There again was no, or not again. This will be a running theme. There's no end date on the website for the breakfast. So that's really all I got. Every Saturday morning, I know that you need to be there by 8:45 a.m. And then every Sunday morning, there's also a Sesame Street breakfast. Every Sunday only. Saturday Shamu, Sunday Sesame. Same thing. $30 a person. Get there at 8:45. Also, no end date. I'm assuming through the summer up until Halloween, and then we finally have a parade that goes to the main area of SeaWorld. What? What? Yeah, crazy, I know. It's called the So Much More to See SEA parade, and it's a bop. It is a certified bop. The music is so good. I need someone to post like rip the audio from like a YouTube video or something. Like the music is so good. And the costumes are cute. I know there's a unit called the Bella Ocean, and I just think that's funny because like that's me. It's really cute. It comes out of the gate by the shark encounter thing, and it goes down by the waterfront, kind of where Pearl Dive is, and a little bit near Voyagers. That's where the first show stop is, and then they go through Antarctica, and underneath one of the roller coasters. I don't know which one is back there. I think it's Mako. I don't know. They go through Antarctica under Mako or whatever ride that is. Maybe it's Kraken. I don't know. Uh, and then they do a second show stop right outside of Journey of Atlantis. It's every day at 1:45 p.m. And then as usual, they have the Sesame Street Parade at 4:30 p.m. daily, and then again at 2 or maybe 2, maybe 3 at 7 p.m. We also have a brand new stage show in Nautilus. It is called Acceleration Cirque Extreme. It is so much fun. The choreography is so great. The music is a bop. Oh, also for parade, no end date on that. I'm assuming once Howl-O-Scream starts. But the yeah, baby, the pretty baby. But Cirque Extreme, it's so good. There's so many cool different acts. Actually, the aerialist in the show was on America's Got Talent and like won the All-Star season. I just found that out. So that's really awesome. It's so cool. The music's so good. The choreography's insane. Lots of fun acts, like I said. They do 3 shows a day, usually 3, 5, and 7. Sometimes the times change on the weekend with the park closing later. And then, as usual, although it's not called Electric Ocean anymore, we have Club Sea Glow, which happens at Bayside Stadium every weekend. Usually starts at 7, like on a Friday, sometimes on a Saturday, Sunday, depending if it's a 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. close. Starts at 8. But then it's always followed up by the nighttime fireworks, which is called Ignite. That is the name of it. It's called Ignite. And it's very good. I just saw it for the first time actually. But Club Seago, if Sea Glow, if you've gone to Electric Ocean, all the fun dances, the puppets, there's a specialty act now. There used to be more. There's only one now. And it's just really fun. It's a good time. It's my personal hell, but I love it because my friends are in it. It is a big dance party. There's some really, really great DJs. One of the nights I went, there was a girl, or it's DJ LEB, Queen. Shout out. Love you. And she was training someone that night. And this incredible remix of Wonderwall and Shots started playing out of nowhere. I think it was those two songs. And it was like the greatest mix I've ever, like, it was so good. So there's some really great DJs out there. If you ask, you can make requests. I definitely requested Taylor Swift, and they play Taylor Swift, and it was great. Standard line dances always happen. It's a good time. Again, no end date. But it usually ends once Hoso starts. And would you like me to go into Hoso since we're talking about SeaWorld?
Sure, why not?
Speaking of Howl-O-Scream Orlando, we've got some news. We have got some news. So this year, they're starting pretty early, I feel. September 6th through November 2nd. That might be standard, actually. I don't know. I just feel like everything's starting earlier this year with HHN starting in August. Everything's out of whack. But this year, we are getting 4 new houses. All new houses. They're gone. And we're getting new ones. That's so exciting. Even though I don't do Hoso houses, they're way too scary for me, but they're fun. They're a good time. We're also getting 3 new scare zones. Those are fun. So Hoso does very well with scare zones, in my opinion. I have fun minus the chainsaws. Don't like them. Also, don't really like the sliders that much. They kind of freak me out. Or the people that hide in the bushes, because they get me every time, and I really don't appreciate it. I also hope this year they bring back the bungee people that hide in the trees and bungee out, because they haven't done that in a while. I would love to see that. And then we're getting 2 new theme bars. I hope that they might still have the front 2, hopefully. But I know they had a lot of bars everywhere. So I don't know. Maybe we're getting more. I don't know. Not really much information. But it's also Hex's year. We got a Queen, Green, Siren. Our Green Queen, Hexy girl. I'm so excited. And that means we've done all the sirens. So I wonder what's gonna take place next year. I don't know. I'm gonna miss the sirens. I do love them. Siren Song is coming back. I can't wait. Monster Stomp is coming back. Hopefully, they haven't made an announcement for those, but I feel like it's a given. But yeah, there's so much more to see at SeaWorld Orlando. There's a lot going on over there. But definitely make sure you go out there, see the new parade. It's so great. See the Cirque show. It's so great. Go to Club Sea Glow. See the fireworks. Get in one of those adult Capri Sun alcohol things if you're 21 or older. They're very good. There's also a new boba place at SeaWorld.
What?
Yes. It's expensive because it's SeaWorld, but it's good. Oh, also, since there was a job posting for this, SeaWorld Orlando is getting a Chick-fil-A. So maybe that will be open by the time Howl-O-Scream happens. I will be very excited. It probably wouldn't be open during Howl-O-Scream anyway, but I'm just so excited to be able to get some Chick-fil-A fries, some Chick-fil-A ranch, and go sit in Sesame Street. I am so excited. I'm glad that there was a job posting up, so maybe they're moving along kind of quick. It's gonna be I actually don't know where it's gonna be. I forgot. Um, I I'm so excited for that, and I'm so glad we can talk about it now because there was a job posting, and maybe it'll be open by the time this episode's out. But yeah,
Never know.
SeaWorld, there's a lot going on over there. Make sure you go swim on over to SeaWorld Orlando. I'm all out of sea puns. I'm all dried up. You can go see Fire Elmo. Sesame. Where? Hold on. How do I? Fire Elmo. But yeah, SeaWorld. So much more to see. Happy
Wow. And you
60.
can wave to all your favorite characters on the
Yes.
new parade.
Yes. Oh, the parade. It has the Shamu and crew people. So, King of SeaWorld himself, Shamu. We got Coral. We got Puck, the penguin. We have, I think his name is Flip. The otter, the sea lion. I honestly did not think I'd ever have to know these characters because I never thought they'd ever come back and be relevant. And here
Well,
we are.
there's Clyde and Seymour. I don't know if they're in the parade, but they exist. And the
Are those the
complicated characters.
seals?
The sea lion and otter show, yeah. Sea lions, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. There's some there's a dolphin. There's two. Sydney the shark. There we go. There's Sydney the shark. There's Shamu. There's Coral. No, it's Pearl. It's Pearl. And
What is
then
Pearl?
I think the dolphin, the girl dolphin. And then there's Puck the penguin and Flip the sea otter lion thing. He looks like a squirrel. But yeah, those are the characters in the parade. It's so fun. The music is so good. There's so much more to see. It's so good. I highly recommend it. It feels like a Disneyland Paris parade. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Ooh.
how Disneyland Paris has like those banger soundtracks. That's how it feels. It feels like something out of Disney, which is a really big compliment for SeaWorld. And I'm so glad that they did that with this parade. It's so good. I highly recommend.
Well, thank you for that, Bella,
Of
because
course.
it's all new to me. So I'm glad to hear that the parade's really great. I'm glad to hear that the other offerings are pretty fun. And we'll see how Hoso goes. 5 years, I hope they continue
This isn't the
growing and
fifth
getting
year,
better.
right?
Fourth year?
Darkness,
Fourth or fifth?
Scratch, Twin. Yeah, 4. Oh,
Okay.
whoa. Really?
Fourth year for 4 new
No.
houses. 4 new
Oh
houses
my
for a fourth
gosh.
year.
This is the 4th year. Wow. We've come so far.
Yeah. If they were an aerial park, they could call it the fourth wing, but alas,
The
they cannot tie in with the romantic.
4th sea. The 4th orca.
Well, speaking of houses and green queens. Sorry, that was terrible.
Green Queens.
For
Rename
our,
Scream Queen the show on Fox. Green Queens.
for our
Green
audio
Queens.
listeners there, that was a reference to Shrek's swamp behind our very own Kelly Hoffman on our Zoom call. That's a reference to DreamWorks Land has opened up I was going to say long-awaited refresh of Woody Woodpecker's KidZone, but it really felt like it wasn't that long. I think it was long expected something was going to go in and replace Fievel and Barney and Curious George with the stick up his butt. Now we've got a brand new DreamWorks Land, and I did it. Who all did it? Kelly, you did it. Bella, did you do it?
No.
Oh no!
I'm hoping soon. I'm hoping to go in a couple weeks and go.
Well, then we'll tell you all about it. But Kelly, I'm going to let you go first, talking about your experience with DreamWorks Land.
Yeah, so I went during the previews. It's officially open now too, right? Or is it
It's
not?
still technically soft opening. I think
Okay.
Anyone can
next
go in.
weekend is the official.
Yeah.
Okay. So as of recording, it's not quite officially open yet, but I went during the pass holder previews. And I went on the Saturday as well, and it was actually not that busy. Or actually I went on a Sunday, but it wasn't super busy. which was actually very nice. I always love being able to try out a new attraction or land when there's not a huge crowd. So that's pretty cool. I got to meet King Julian, which was cute. And we also met Puss of Puss in Boots and Kitty Softpaws as well. So that was nice. There were all kinds of characters out there. Gabby from Gabby's Playhouse was there. No one was in line to meet her, but it's okay because someone later was dressed as her. So somebody went for her. But apparently my nieces and nephews would have loved it, I heard later. So that's exciting for them. But I went on the first thing I did was I got food from Shrek Swamp. I had a swamp dog, I think it's called.
How was it? I need to know how it was.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. Now, listen, I have tummy troubles, so this may not be for everyone.
Not
But
for the IBS girlies.
in my
The
case,
tummy
for
issue girlies.
the IBS tummy issue girlies, it did upset my stomach very much for most of the day. However, it was delicious. So what I will say to you is eat at your own risk. The bun tastes like pizza. It's like a pizza bread. Oh, it's so
Yeah.
good. It is wrapped around a hot dog, which I love hot dogs. And it's got like green cheese in it. Apparently, some people are not getting a ton of cheese when they order it. I did, and it was a delight. So I thought it was delicious. I really enjoyed it. And then I had a like cup of dirt, which was, and honestly, this might have also caused the stomach problems. But it's layers of cookie cake layered with like pudding, and it had like crumbled cookies on top. So both of those things were delicious. I would just like, I don't know, maybe get them before you go back to your hotel and then apologize to everyone you're sharing a hotel room with. So
Did you get the Shrexel?
I did not get the Shrek. It was cute though. Adam, what did you get? Did you get food from there?
Yeah, I got the swamp dog. I only got the swamp dog. But I ascended because of my favorite thing at Auntie Anne's is probably the pepperoni pretzel because it's like a pizza. And so having that with some sausage inside, I was just beyond. I really, really enjoyed that more than I expected. Like I took one bite and all I tasted was pizza. I'm like, this is good enough for me. Shrexel, however, I did not try because I'm like, do I need everything? I'm learning from the Epcot festivals. I don't need everything. And so knowing that DreamWorks is a more permanent institution, I'll have the Shrexel at a different juncture. But love that dog. I did not have the trebles that you had. I don't think.
Maybe I'll give it another try. Honestly, it was worth it.
The popsicles look so good.
They
And
look
the
really
ice cream,
good.
the Trolls ice cream that's like $9, but it looks
Yeah.
so good.
I did not have it, but someone else I was with had the poppy pink lemonade flavored one, and it sounded good. I was so into the dirt cake. I was like, get that ice cream away from me. I will not be trying it. I am into this, and it was to my downfall. But the ice cream looked really cute, and apparently it was very refreshing and delicious. So
I just love that they sell a dirt cake. Like, I feel like that just like will heal everybody's inner child because who didn't love a dirt cake when they were younger?
that's how I felt, and I love cookie cake too. And
Does it have
I
gummy
feel like
worms on it?
it has one giant, horrifying looking gummy worm with like a billion legs on it.
That's
It's
a
great.
win.
It's
That's
like
a
a
win.
very whimsical like gummy worm. Like I feel like it's custom. It was awesome.
Is it a centipede?
Yeah, but it's like a weird looking centipede. It was
Does it look
cool.
like the guy from Trolls? What is that guy's name? The weirdo thing on the little
It didn't look like that, but I wish it
Catter
did.
Bus or something.
Catterbus.
Yeah.
That thing's terrifying.
Not to be confused with
didn't look
Cat
like
Bus
that.
from My Neighbor Totoro.
I was just thinking that. However, I did go on the roller coaster, which was
it?
very cute. It's a very like now I haven't been on the Woody Woodpecker roller coaster in years. It's probably like the exact same track. Is it not? Oh, sorry. I thought you were.
No, I was talking, but I was muted, and I realized my lips are not easy to read. No, it's the exact same. I think
It
they
is the
put a new
exact same, okay.
shrubbery, and they took out the audio cues to be more troll groovy, but yeah, it's the exact same coaster.
So it was very cute. The roller coaster, if you're an adult, it's probably going to be underwhelming for you, but it was fun. I mean, I had a lot of nostalgia for it because I loved the Woody Woodpecker ride. It was one of my first roller coasters as a kid. And then the music was really good. Like, it would probably get really repetitive if you're waiting in a long line, but if it's a walk on like it was for me, the music was very nice. It was fun. So it was enjoyable. I think it would be really good for kids, which is probably something I'll repeat for a lot of the stuff here, but it was super cute. I didn't see any of the trolls walking around, by the way. I really wanted to see Guy Diamond. I did not. So sad. But I did go to the Shrek playground, and I did go down the fart slide, which was it was fine. Maybe children slide better down it. I did not slide very well. So I just
You
got
just get
stuck.
that burn. You get that burn. You like skip on it. Oh.
Yes, and then I got caught hearing a lot of farts, so it was all right.
Did
Um,
either of you see the show?
yes,
Yes.
Good.
the show was great.
Oh, so good.
It
I
was
watched
really good.
videos of it on like everybody's story, and I'm like, I want to go. It looks so good.
Yeah, Adam, share your opinions on the show because I know you have a lot of opinions on it.
Oh yeah, no, so I never did Day in the Park with Barney. I decided to see the Born Stuntacular for the first time the day it closed. So there's that. So I didn't do DreamWorks Destination when I was kind of filling in the latter days of Woody Woodpecker's KidZone. However, going into I want to get the name right because it's that good. DreamWorks Imagination Celebration. This I feel like is a show for everybody. This makes, I think, more than anything, and there's a lot of other activities that I'll talk about more that's said in DreamWorks Land, but I think more than anything else, this show really makes DreamWorks Land more of a land for families than just a land for kids. The basic storyline is that these two 20-somethings they felt like 20-somethings. It might have been like late teens, but I'll say 20-somethings. They go out to a spot that they used to go to, and the girl's really excited because this is where they used to have a bunch of imagination, but the guy, he's just not feeling the same imagination. He looks at a cloud and he sees a cumulus, and she sees other things. And so as they look at the clouds, they revisit different DreamWorks properties they grew up with, including Shrek, Trolls, and Kung Fu Panda. And it's just really fun. There's a wraparound screen that they interact with that a bunch of graphics are on. Some like Master Oogway shows up, and they don't have him come out as a costume character. He's on the screen. They interact with that. The songs are great. It's all songs from the DreamWorks movies, I think. There might be an original song in there. I'm not entirely sure because I haven't seen Trolls, where most DreamWorks songs come from. But yeah, really great selection of songs. I remember like Shrek just like ran down this ramp that they have, and like that's a lot of commitment right there to just like bang on that ramp as you run. Go Shrek, you're dedicated to your craft. Yeah, no, it's a really fun show. They've got puppets, but the puppet didn't come out for us, but they do have puppets. They've got some great dancers. There's such great energy in this show, and it is very heartwarming. I would say this is probably more directed to the people like us who grew up with certain DreamWorks movies. I think we'll get kids will get a lot out of it because they are consuming these daily on Netflix and Peacock and Hulu, depending on what their parentals have. But it's a very nostalgic show if you grew up or have watched any of these. And it ends with such an unexpected mashup of songs and an unexpected character. I'm not going to spoil it because it's just so much fun. And I'm like, whoa, hold on a sec. I like what you're doing here. I think I was telling the group that, Born Spectacular is definitely like a must-do show if you're doing shows. Horror makeup show is a must-do show if you're even in the park. I think this is probably a third like anchor show as well. Like I think it's just as good as those. It's like, A plus, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, like in that range, I'd say the show goes in. just because of how well it hits like the nostalgia angle, and just the songs are so energetic, and the script is very fun. It's a very fun script, and they definitely put a lot of passion and hard work into this. That it was definitely the highlight of the land for me personally. So when it does open, make sure that you, even if you're like, I'm not really sure if I want to interact with like DreamWorks Land stuff, and I do think there's stuff to do here if you're not a child. There's a lot of great interactivity in this land. But if you just like beeline it to the back, I think you'll have a lot of fun there. It's a really, really great show. Oh, and it's theater in the round. Just to give you that that little uh perspective. It's a theater in the round show. So you'll have a different experience depending on what side of the stage you're on. But yeah, it's a very fun
I
show.
cannot wait to go see it.
You'll love
It
it, Bella.
looks
Bring your
I know
camera.
I will. I am. I already
You
know I'm probably gonna cry too.
Yeah. No, you will. That will be your show, I think, when you see it. Um,
Yay!
especially from like your photography angle, like just taking pictures. There's just so many different ways you can do it. Like I know there's some photographers who are like addicted to Finding Nemo. There's some photographers who are addicted to Celestina
Mhm.
Warbeck. I think this will be your addiction, and it'll make you go to Universal more and more, and finally do the Velocicoaster.
Ooh. I'm never doing Velocigos. Listen, I've warmed up to the idea of doing Hagrid's the next time I'm at Universal.
Oh, it's so good.
That's a big step.
I'll go with
That's a
you.
big step. Bet. That is a big step for me.
Yeah.
So maybe someday in the future, maybe before Epic opens, maybe,
Someday,
but I doubt it.
when you are
I just,
braver.
that's never gonna happen. I'm sorry. I'm not going that high up that fast and being upside down that many times. No.
I mean, I was gonna say understandable, but I don't get it. I love that ride and roller coasters in general.
Like,
Um,
I know I love it, but I'm just like,
Hagrid's or Velocicoaster?
yes,
Huh?
I'm scared of both of them.
But you think you'll love both of them?
I think I'd like Velocicoaster.
Work.
I'm just scared to do it. Like, I think I'd have fun once I actually, like, was brave enough and did it. Like, I think the fear would, like, it would take me half the ride to like it, but I think I'd end up liking it. But it's just, like, doing it and, like, getting on the ride. Because anytime I've, like, gotten in line for Hagrid's or, like, thought about doing it, I cry. And so I leave.
It's
So the fact
claustrophobic
that I
too,
want to, the fact that I want to do it, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe I'll
excited
do
for
it.
you.
Slay.
But Kelly, since you talked about a couple of things, do you mind if I cover the interactive stuff?
yeah,
And if
go
you
for
and
it.
if you've, and I'm sure you experienced it, but if you have any other thoughts, definitely jump in.
Yeah.
One of the highlights of this, and this is why I actually really enjoy DreamWorks Land, and I think it's an improvement over KidZone. I know there's some internet haters out there. That was a terrible way. That's so. Forgive me for saying that, but there are some of you who have bad opinions on this land, frankly.
Is that any better than internet haters?
One sounds civilized. One sounds like a cliche. Um, but there are people who are like, oh, there's a certain way that the sign looks that I don't like, and oh, they have this music that I don't like, and they're forgetting all the other great stuff that is the interactivity of the land. Like Kelly said, there's the Shrek Swamp play area with the fart slide. Yes, I also got stuck. It was fun and then scary. Not because of the farce. I just like, oh, maybe I overestimated how well I go down this. It is indeed for little ogres, but they do have an animatronic in there. Yes, an animatronic at Universal. The screen debate is dead. Yeah, you can click a button, and Pinocchio, great character, will give you a fun fact that's definitely a lie. Like, Shrek loves to have children in his swamp. Whoop. Like it's fun stuff like that. You just hit the button, and it's not very loud, but it's also so like everyone in the land isn't spoiled by the joke. You hit the button, you can hear it for yourself, and you hit it a bunch of times. That's great. There's King Harold's Swamp Symphony in the Shrek area, and you jump on these lily pads, and these frogs like open their mouths and make a ribbit in a different tone, and all of that. And there's like an Easter egg in there for the adults. If you hit the lily pads at a certain lily pads at a certain time, it'll make the bud wiser. Not related to Shrek, just a fun joke for the adults, just in the spirit of Shrek. And yes, this is on King Harold's grave, but he deserved it. That's fun. As a cat person, I love the Puss in Boots Last Wish representation in the Mama Luna Feline Fiesta. And if you haven't seen Puss in Boots 2, Mama Luna's is basically like a home for cats, like Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, but for cats. And these cats aren't imaginary. They are many. They are legion. This is an interactive screen activity. There's different buttons you can press in this sheltered area. And when a item on the screen lights up, whether it be a piano or a spray bottle, you hit the corresponding button and something really funny happens to these cats. You don't torture the cats, you just spook them a little. And don't we all love to do that to our kitties? I could have stayed there forever. There is a Woody Woodpecker reference in there, so keep an eye out for that. Yeah, I love Mama Luna's. I know you need to make way for the kids. I know the kids need to interact with it. They are the target audience. But I could have hit every button forevermore, like I'm Beast from the Beauty and the Beast remake, and played with cats forevermore. That was me. In the Trolls area, the Troller Coaster, it's pretty much it. You can meet Princess Poppy and Guy Diamond. Poppy was out for us at the team member preview that I went to because I know team members and they invited me. So thank you, team members. Not a whole lot of interactivity there. There's a playground, but that's really for like the little kids. That really was not for people of my size and stature.
I want to go in the little pods, even though they're made for little kids. I want to go in the pods.
And then in the very back is the Kung Fu Panda area. This is mainly splash pads, and none of the splash pads were working when I went to my preview. I don't know the answer to that. They are in technical rehearsal, so these things can happen. Hopefully they are working when you go with your youngin'. But what was open was Poe's Kung Fu Training Camp. This has replaced the Ball Factory over the Curious George Ball Factory that was part of Woody Woodpecker KidZone. Now it's like a Turtle Talk with Crush type experience. And my group and I, we got really into it. Just trying out these kung fu stances and moves and postures, like doing the tigress and doing the I'm forgetting all the Furious 5. I haven't seen Kung Fu Panda 2 since theaters, so I'm a little rusty, gang. Sorry.
Me either. But that was really cute. I saw it and there were a lot of kids in the front doing all the poses, and that was really sweet. I was just kind of quietly doing them in the back, but it was really nice.
Now we got a not front row seat. Enough that we weren't blocking kids, but we were so into it. That's pretty much all the interactivity that I'm looking at the list on my thingy. But it was all very fun. Definitely like the more playground aspects and the water aspects. The kids were not the kids with us. We didn't have any kids with us, but there were kids there with their team member parents, and they were having an absolute blast, playing with all these things. I'm sure when the water is working and operational, more of these elements and especially the Kung Fu Panda area, since that's like Curious George, the big splash pad area, that's really going to shine. There's also a splash pad area as part of the Shrek Swamp, kind of like Camp Jurassic, how that has the splash where you can splash the people down below you. That's a thing. Yeah, it's very fun. I had a lot of fun here. I think you all should go here. I love that ET Adventure has got a new sign, so it's separate from DreamWorks Land, and I thought they did a really good job with the coverage. There's a lot of great Easter eggs. Like if you look at the trash cans, it corresponds with the section that you're in, and they've got special art. You can meet and greet the characters, including Gabby's Dollhouse, which I was surprised for being like she's one of the announced characters for this land. So I was surprised that she really only got her meet and greet at the very front, but I guess that's how it happened. But yeah, it's really well integrated, and a lot of people are like, there's not new rides. Why are there no new rides? It's just like one show. Is it really just a ride and a show? It's the interactivity that really puts it next level. And if you put the time into it, and you really just explore and relax in it, that's really what it's about. Like when you I don't want to say when you give yourself to it, then you'll have fun, because that sounds like, well, theme parks should do more. And I don't mean that like a bot 2 kind of way, where you have when you really dedicate yourself to telling your own Star Wars story, you have the most fun with that. It's more like with Harry Potter. I think Harry Potter's a good example. Imagine this was all like the wand experiences, but they were free and they were something that everybody could do. And they're fun for all ages, I'd say. I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah, definitely come over. I want to bring my family to it, honestly. Just obviously we won't go down the fart slide because my brother and I are the kids, if you will, and we're in our 20s. So like we don't need to do it anymore. But all the other like the cats and the roller coaster and all of that. Yeah, good times.
It looks like such a great addition to Universal because really, with KidZone being gone, the only kids area was Seuss Landing,
Yeah.
and there's not really a whole lot for like little kids.
Yeah. Even
There's
Camp
the
Jurassic is a little
trolley.
scary.
Yeah. Oh, I want to go through those caves though. I've never been back there.
So it's so good.
It's so fun. I
I've
love
never
it.
been back there.
I'll
Maybe
go, especially in the
that.
summer. It's so
Oh,
hot.
I bet. I bet. It's like the caves on Tom Sawyer Island in Magic Kingdom. Those are cool. Tight fit. They're very narrow. But it's fun. But I just love that there's just so much for all ages. I'm very intrigued by the Kung Fu Panda turtle talk with Crush thing. I cannot wait to just sit back there and chat and yap, have a yap off with Poe. Okay, also missed opportunity for them to have noodles.
Noodles
Like
are part
actual
of
noodles. Yeah.
I know
all
because
of the
like they
food.
have the water thing. I've seen videos of that.
I
That's gonna be
wish they
cool when
had
it's running.
noodles. I
But
hope they
like
add them.
that was a perfect opportunity. I love how much Shrek food there is though. I saw a tweet that was like, it's so great watching people who grew up with Shrek create marketing material and create like theme park things for it. Even with like the merch that we've seen in the tribute store, like the ear, like the what the Shrek stuff, like it's just so like I feel like we're in like a Shrek-assance, like a Shrek renaissance. Like there's a Shrek rave happening right now. Like this is the year of Shrek, and I love that Universal loves Shrek so much, and he's just always around. I love it. I
It's a
can't wait to go. I hope I can go very soon.
it's a great replacement for Shrek 4D.
I'm so mad I never got to do it, but I guess now I just got to go down the fart slide, and I feel like it'll be like the same
You
thing.
can watch Shrek 4D on Netflix.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's true.
Shrek's Scary Swamp Tales or something like that.
What?
Or DreamWorks Spooky Stories. DreamWorks Spooky Stories. That's what
That's
it's
true.
called.
That's what it was.
Yeah, The Ghost of Lord Farquaad is also Shrek 4D. You could
Yep.
also bring the DVD of the ride home with you back when it was operating too, and it came with 3D glasses. What you were missing though were the seats that made funny sounds and sprayed you with
Wait, that's kind of
And
fun.
bounced around.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun. I can't believe I just never did it. The line was always so long.
Yeah, I did forget two things about DreamWorks that I want to. Number one, the slides are ADA compliant. A lot of people are saying that they did not have an attention to detail in this land. Yeah, they did. Because I mean, obviously, if you're working at theme park, you want to make things ADA compliant, but they actually have, they have wheelchair accessibility. With some of this, you can go up a ramp in your wheelchair, and then you can go down the slide, and then you can move over while someone brings your wheelchair down, and you won't be in the way of other children coming down the slide. Like they've got a special bench just next to the slide. I think that's so cool. And number two, the Shrek meet and greet with Shrek, Fiona, and Donkey. We forgot to mention that, but Donkey got yesified. Donkey looks great. Donkey slays, and it's just a fun experience overall.
Yes. I haven't done that yet. I mean, I've done it back when they were doing it in the other area, which is now Minions. But so I'll be honest, this land is, I feel like, not for me a lot. Like, I don't think I'm gonna go to DreamWorks Land a lot personally. It's just not, I don't know. I don't feel strongly about any of the properties other than Shrek. So like, if I go, I'm gonna get more Shrek snacks and I'm gonna beat Shrek. And then I would love to go to this land like with my nieces and nephews. And like Adam said, this is not like a kid only land. Like you can definitely find great things to do as an adult. And I had a fun time when I went. But like, I just feel like there are other areas of the park that I'll be focusing on more, if that makes sense, even though this is the newest. But it's really great. I think they put a lot of details into it. Um, Everything looks amazing. Like, it is so visually impressive. And the show, like the puppets were working when I went, and they were like insanely cool, especially, well, I won't give anything away, but the Shrek section had a really awesome puppets.
It looks sick.
So yeah, I loved it. But it's like, it's probably not a show that I'll see every time. But then again, like, neither is Born for me. But I will see the horror makeup show. Like, I'll see that 3 times in a day sometimes. Like, I love that show. Not literally, but like I would. Um so I'm not a huge show person always necessarily. Like, I always want to see the shows, but I'm not like a repeater of shows a lot of times, if that makes sense. So I thought it was a really great show, but like, it's probably not going to be like something I do a bunch of times or anything like that, unless I'm with people who want to see it, which I would totally go again. But yeah, that's kind of my overall thoughts, is like, I really like it. For other people, it's probably not a land that I'm going to frequent a lot, but I will get another Shrek dog if I can survive eating it.
I want the headband to come back in stock. I want the Shrek ears.
I want those too.
I love everything. Have you seen pictures or like in person the headbands in the tribute store? Like the dinosaur and the minions, the Tim one. I saw it in Tim Tracker's vlog. Shout out. Um, the it was like Tim the bear from Despicable Me, and it was a heart that said Tim. I said, "That's funny." No, I feel like Universal's kind of slaying with their merch again. I feel like this Horror Nights merch could
Wait,
be
hold
really
on.
good.
Speaking of slaying, the new summer tribute store slays. The
It's so
house
good.
boots down.
It is my favorite tribute store they've ever done.
I'm sorry, that was cringy, but I love the new tribute store. It's so good. As
Mhm.
a Slaughter Cinema apologist,
I'm sure you loved that.
loved that. I I thought it was great. There's a ton of Halloween Horror Nights Easter eggs in this store, like a ton, especially the second room. So if you are interested in that sort of thing and like making guesses, you might not have a lot more time because we already had quite a few announcements that we'll talk about after we talk about
Yeah.
this. But there are some fun Easter eggs in there with the coming soons and the all of the other things that they have going on there. So I would definitely check it out, but it's a very summery store, very classic, very nostalgic. I did try the waffle
Mm.
s'mores as well. That was delicious. I had one bite of someone's and that was plenty for me, so maybe split it with someone unless you really like super sweet things, but it is a chocolate covered s'more that tastes like syrup and has waffle pieces in it, like crispy waffle pieces. That was so, so good because I love the chocolate covered s'mores, but it's not very chocolatey. It tastes way more like a waffle. So keep in mind, I think it was it was a Shrek waffle thing. Like, I think it had donkey on it or
I
something.
saw
But
they had an onion cheesecake.
yeah, that looked super cute.
That looked good too.
The brownies looked good also, but I could only have one sweet thing in there. Those sweets are like really sugary, but
Universal treats are so rich
they are.
every time.
I
It's a
I'm
lot.
like, okay, one bite's good, and then it's like too much.
Or it's like $14 for, or it's $18 for that ET wrapped in a blanket thing. Tim Tracker, shout out part 2. I don't know why I'm looking to the heavens when I shout out Tim. But Tim, I yeah, the ET thing's like $18 and it like melted
It's
the
so
second he took it
cute though.
outside. It is really cute though. And I like the cookie dough cone. I think that's genius. And I
It
need
is
them to
so
do one
cute.
for Horror Nights because I will walk around Horror Nights with a cone of cookie dough. I did that with a Caesar salad multiple times. I'll have a Caesar salad in one hand and a cookie dough cone in the other. Like, hello, that's iconic. And I'll
That's
have a third
balance.
hand for my blinky cup.
I love that.
Bella, I aspire to do that.
We can all do it one night. Wait, well, that tribute store won't be open
No.
unless they do one in the HHN tribute store.
Ooh.
We're gonna manifest. Also, read whenever anyone else goes, who's ever's listening. Adam, when you go, read all the posters outside. Also, I know now that the Bill and Ted time machine's out there. I don't know what that's about. They're all
Strange
the
things are afoot at the Mega Video Mart. It doesn't have the same ring as Circle K.
it
Nevertheless,
doesn't. It
strange things are afoot.
strange things are happening to
Happening to me.
me.
They should
um
bring back Bill and Ted because I've finally seen the movie.
I still
So
haven't seen it.
it's good.
Have you
It's
seen the
really
third
good.
one?
No, I've only seen the first one.
Oh man, I mean, I think that I'm of the rare opinion that they get better and better as they go. No
Oh,
one else
I need to
agrees
watch
with
them.
me, but Bogus Journey is totally tubular, and the third one was like it wasn't the cure to COVID, but it was the cure to 2020. So I love that freaking movie. So
I
I
gotta watch them.
I had this like vision. What if they did Bill and Ted meets Nightmare Fuel? They get stuck in the nightmare world.
I
please.
would give
Wouldn't that
all
be
of my
funny?
money.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Universal. I know
All
you're
those eyes
listening.
look like a headband on my head.
Tell Chad at Halloween Horror Nights that we need this.
I
And
think
I
that'd be
will
fun.
I will give you all of my money.
And if that happens, I become the new park president of Universal. Because I've spoke that into existence. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
That'd
We
be
were talking
cool.
last year, like, where did they go now with the story? Because the trilogy feels kind of wrapped up, with the new Nightmare Queen.
Yeah,
We
I
always
feel
see what
like
her escapades are, but I
no,
think
yeah.
her new escapades with Bill and Ted. So
That
for
would be
people who are
so
like,
fun.
it's the same thing over and over, which it's not necessarily, but I can see where people get that complaint. This is a great way to spice it up with some comedy, especially since we're not getting that rumored second show. Rumored, allegedly. That's what
Allegedly.
that's what Horror Night Nightmare says, so it's gospel.
Horror
True.
Nights Nightmares is my boyfriend. Horror Nights Nightmares is a god. Horror Nights Nightmares is the wind in my hand.
Horror Night.
Speaking of horror nights,
It is one of the strangest tales ever told. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
My apologies, Horror Night Nightmares. I was trying to be funny.
I think they'll appreciate it. They seem to
so
have good
too.
humor. They
that'd
retweeted
be
that one thing about White Castle, so I think they got a good head on their shoulders.
that is funny. But speaking of horror nights, if anyone listening to this wasn't paying attention, we have a lot of announcements to go through. There were 6 original houses announced, as well as an IP. I forgot the term IP for a second there. An intellectual property was announced as well, the first one. So let's just dive in. I guess we can start with the intellectual property because there's only one. A Quiet Place.
One so far. Don't mislead.
One so far. I'm sorry. There's 4 total.
Maybe. Who knows?
Probably 4 total. If we're to believe Horror Night Nightmares, which the gospel. So probably 4 IPs. It is assumed that the 6 originals that were all announced in the same week are the only originals. And then there should be 4 IPs. So A Quiet Place was announced. Interesting choice. And you know what? At first, I was not so sure about it. But as time goes on, I'm like, you know what? Okay. And just to clarify a little further, it appears as if they are doing the first movie, but I don't know. Oh,
Our good friend Nicole Wills, who you may have heard on earlier episodes in the podcast, she is now working for Universal Orlando. We're so proud of her. She actually wrote up an article for Discover Universal as a senior editor. Heck yeah. And in her article, she says, I guess Universal says, Universal through Nicole, it's going to be based on Quiet Place and A Quiet Place Part 2. So all the story of the Abbotts. Not day one,
okay.
the upcoming.
I'm so scared.
I'm interested to see how the sound design is going to work. So I'm very excited about, I think they could do some really cool puppetry. Like those monsters are huge. And like, I think they could do some really, really neat stuff with that. And I think it's going to be scary. But the sound aspect of it, because I like the Quiet Place movies. I've seen each of them once, the part 1 and part 2, and I thought they were good. I didn't have any like super strong opinions either way. Like I was like, oh, this is a good movie. It's all right. It's cool. I like the actors in this. So, and I liked the representation as well, which according to Universal, there's going to be ASL in the house, which I think is sick. I think that's really, really cool. So good on them for that. And that I think is huge, and honestly was one of the things that made me the most excited about it, because like I feel like there are so many people that are going to be able to go that like will understand what they're saying because they sign, or they know someone who signs, and they know sign language. I just think it's cool. So that's gonna be awesome. But yeah, honestly, I'm most intrigued about how they're gonna do the sound design, because I think that's interesting, because you're supposed to be quiet, but obviously we're gonna be screaming. That would actually be one. We haven't talked about it on the show, but there is like special ticketed event on August 29th called something Premium Scream.
Premium Scream Night. Yeah, you got yep. Premium Scream
Oh,
Night.
look at that. Premium Scream Night. And you can pay too much money, $350, to experience lower wait times and all of these different things. There's food included, blah, blah, blah. But the main thing that is very intriguing to me is that they will pulse people through the houses. So I feel like this would be a great one to be pulsed through, probably, because you're not around other people screaming, and it's probably way more terrifying. So that might be the reason I spend $350 on this. Probably not, but maybe it'd be cool, because if you've been to Halloween Horror Nights, you know it's very hard to go through as an individual in any of the houses. It's a conga line unless you're very lucky at the very end of the night, probably in November. But how do y'all feel about A Quiet Place to start?
Okay. I think that I'm very scared because I've refused to watch the Quiet Place movies because I don't like sound jump scares. That's like my least favorite way to be scared ever. I hate it. So I feel like that would be a bad movie for me to watch. So I'm very, very scared. I'm debating wearing my earplugs as per usual, but bringing my AirPod Maxes and noise canceling them. Because I feel like it's going to be really loud, even though that's the exact opposite of what it needs to be. Or I don't even know how they're gonna do this. I really don't. Usually I have faith in IPs, but this one I'm like on the fence about. And I'm sad I'm on the fence about it. I don't know. It's gonna be a very interesting concept. I don't know. I need to watch it, but I don't want to watch it. This might be a one and done for me. Unless it's really good. I am excited to see the monster though. I think that's gonna be so cool. Because if Universal does anything right, it is big puppets and big stilts and big everything in HHN houses. So I'm hype. I'm hyped for that. I don't know. I'm excited for I think this is gonna be an original heavy year for me. Depending on what else is announced. I don't even know. But yeah, Adam, how do you feel about this?
If you scour my Twitter account, you will see I've kind of been down on the idea of a rumored A Quiet Place house. But I also know Universal, when it comes to Halloween Horror Nights, has surpassed my expectations when I have no expectations. Exorcist Believer, for instance, like it was better than the movie. So there's that. But I think the more that people, and I don't know how much of this Universal is actually said, as opposed to kind of the buzz around this house, is that it might be a more experimental house. Will it be that they'll only scare you if you make noise? Is it that you'll be in a lot of long, dark, soundproofy hallways like in Graveyard Games, like the entire house is like that? Maybe. It's a soundstage though, so who knows? Rumored. They never said. It's on Nightmares. I'm going off of Nightmares, folks. But
Going off of the Bible, Horror Night Nightmares maps.
The holy word.
I am optimistic, but it's not something I necessarily would have been looking forward to before. But I will say this, and this is why they chose it. Most people I have talked to who aren't on HHN Twitter are very excited for this announcement, like Stranger Things excited for this house. So chose a good property in that case, because people do like the Quiet Place movies. They're great starter horror films.
Starter.
Yeah, it's PG-13.
That's just.
It's a PG-13 movie that's
scary.
largely a drama until the creatures come,
That's
if I
true.
remember correctly.
Maybe we'll get John Krasinski.
Cillian Murphy, Emily Blunt. Oh yeah, Cillian's in part 2. Yeah, it's like pre-Oppenheimer. Just no one saw it because it's 2020.
Eddie Munson's in the new one.
Yeah, he won't be in here. Neither will Lupita or her cat. This would have been like number 1 anticipated. Well, Universal Monsters, if that's happening, which why wouldn't it? And then Quiet Place, if the cat was going to be in it. But since the cat is not in Quiet Place or Quiet Place Part 2, 10. Just kidding. We'll see.
You're gonna Dead Man's Pier it.
We'll see. We'll see. If it is more experimental, though, this is going to be one you need to do like the first couple of weeks, first week, because Spirits of the Coven was one that I actually prefer the original version of that house, because it was a different way of doing a house at Halloween Horror Nights. It was long, it was a slow burn, but it worked for me. And then they made it more like every other house, and it lost some of that charm, which is why it was all over my rankings that year. So if it really is the experimental house of 2024, gosh, I'm old. I'm not old. I just forget time. If it is the experimental house of 2024, do it opening weekend before it's not anymore.
Yeah. Well, there's also some originals, and let's just start right out the bag with the first one that was announced. It was announced at Spooky Empire first, and then it was
Kelly's
announced on
Joker.
My Joker, Slaughter Cinema 2. If anyone knows me, you know that my number 1 house of all time is the original Slaughter Cinema from 2018. I've been through it probably not more than any house, but it's close. I just adored that house. It was so much fun, and I feel like I'm optimistic that I could love this one even more somehow. And I'm not really sure, but the description of it is just brilliant. It's a great house. If you're not familiar with the first one and you somehow haven't heard me ramble about it before, I'm going to do it right now. You are going through, and I really hope that they have the same narrator, because it is the narrator is, I think he's the usher, but his voice is fantastic. So I hope that they do the same narrator, but basically there is a narrator going through, in between the houses, sort of similar to Case Files, if you've done Case Files, but not Slaughter Cinema, where they had the novels in between, and they would kind of give a little description of what the scene you're going into was. It would have a movie poster, and there would be a narrator giving a short, very silly description of these fake B horror movies, and then you'd go into the scene. And the scenes were just so well done. It was so much fun. It was spooky. It was silly. It was just a blast, and I loved it. So I'm super excited for this, and I'm excited that my co-hosts will finally get to experience the joy that is Slaughter Cinema.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I've always wanted to experience Slaughter Cinema because I fell in love with it watching HHN videos religiously from that year. I am so hype. I'm very excited for the spaghetti western portion
Me
of it.
too.
I also love the guy they showed at Spooky Empire. I did notice watching Tim Tracker's tribute store vlog, the little skull that's on the bottom of the Dr. Oddfellow card in there is that guy. That's his head.
That's so cool.
So I'm hype. I think it's gonna be so great. I'm so excited. It's gonna be so good. It's probably my second most hyped. I have another original that's my most hyped.
What's your most hyped? Let's go.
Oh, the museum deadly exhibits. Spooky Night at the Museum. folklore museum, the Rotting Stone, which is meant to be the rolling. I know that they were laughing making that. The folklore exhibit, the Rotting Stone. Like literally, I'm gonna be performing the Eras tour in there. I am so excited. I'm so excited. I think it's gonna be so cool. I don't know.
I
It's
think
just
that's
like night at the museum. Like,
I think it's gonna be scary.
that's
yeah.
also my top anticipated one, to be honest with you, because it gives what it's given right now, it's given graveyard games in a museum because the scariest parts of like graveyard games and Universal Monsters 2019 were the parts that involved like crypts, and crypts are things you can do in the museum, I feel like. Um I'm going to be terrified, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was my number one.
If it's
At the event.
if it's anything like graveyard games, I will like
Die.
because I know I would absolutely hate how scared I would be during graveyard games, but I feel like I would also just love that house even though it would literally end me. Uh if it's anything like that, I will be so hyped because I forever regret not going that year cuz that facade, oh, I just like I can see it if it's anything like that. And like I know someone posted, I think it was Bio Reconstructor, someone posted a picture of like the facade being built and it's all these different like window looking things so far and like I don't know. It's just gonna be so fun. I'm so excited. I hope it knocks me on my ass in the house. I can't wait.
It probably will, and I'm so excited for it. I cannot wait. Another one I'm really excited for is a type of house that I did not expect, and I'm super excited for, Goblin's Feast. And it's gonna be very D&D, which I love Dungeons and Dragons. So this is also very appropriate, I feel, for following a Stranger Things year to have like a D&D-esque house. Um, but it's going to be taking place in a goblin village, and there's going to be like goblins and orcs and witches, which is just so like classic Halloween as well, which I love. But the logo is very classical Halloween, like it's just spooky and fun, and you're the feast, so it adds the extra terror of like, well, they're coming for you, so watch out. But I think that sounds so fun and like a great time.
It reminds me of Wicked Growth, like the witches in Wicked Growth,
I agree.
which is where Beast Baby was from Slaughter Cinema. I swear, I'm so hype. It's gonna be so good.
It's given Wicked Growth cross Dueling Dragons. And I can't say I'm scared for
Ooh.
that until I go through it. Because like I did Wicked Growth. Everyone did Wicked Growth. But I only did it once and it didn't really stick in, so I don't remember how scared I actually was in that house. So this will be a nice, and I wasn't scared at all really in Dueling Dragons, except for one time. We'll see how scared I actually am. This is probably lower on my list because of that, but I do think they're going to do something really cool and interesting, which is why I love Horror Nights, because it's always cool and interesting. Even Hellblock.
Hey, Hellblock was kind of fun.
Yeah.
It always smelled like burnt vape juice in there.
Yeah, it's my number 8 that year.
It was kind of fun. You know what
It
I'm really
hurt
nervous
me.
of besides Quiet Place? Monstros, the Monsters of Latin America. Because I watched the videos of that in Hollywood last year. I'm gonna die. It's so scary. And if it's anything like that, oh god, that's probably gonna ooh, that's gonna be good. But also, ooh, also same with Triplets of Terror.
Triplets of Terror sounds horrifying. It's very House of a Thousand Corpses meets Texas Chainsaw kind of vibes.
I think that's gonna be a one and done as well. I'm scared. I know
Yeah,
artwork.
I don't know. I'm scared.
I know rumored for a while was a tribute to Terror house. So like a house based on the tribute store last year, which is very comic book themed. The logo for this is very comic book similar to like what the style was last year for that tribute store. I think some wires got crossed, and this is what that is. So if it's that with that comic book aesthetic, I am here for that. I am willing to bat for the Barmy triplets. Which of the Barmy triplets did it? Which of these kids did the crime? I didn't see Only Murders in the Building, but I saw that clip and didn't memorize. That should be fun.
I think it's going to be a good time. And then last but most certainly not least, we're finally getting a Sweet Revenge house. I say finally. I mean, it's not like it's been that long, but like it's finally announced. We've all talked about that it would be a great, 2 years. We've all talked about that it would make a great house. We're getting it. Major Sweets is gonna have a candy factory at Halloween Horror Nights. There better be treats in the tribute store that are coordinating with that house. I think that would be really neat. But it's reminding me of the Killer Clown's house. I feel like there's going to be bright colors, good smells, very interesting stuff in there. It's also probably going to be very silly, and I'm excited about it.
You know what we're talking about how all these remind us of 2019 houses and not, or like 2018, 2019 houses. And I'm like, if we get 2018, 2019 vibes this year, that
Those
would
were the
be
best.
that I regret not going those 2 years, especially 2019. And like, if those vibes are here, this might be an all-timer of a year. I don't know. Everything sounds good. I think Major Suites, I think that'll be a good starter house for people. I'll definitely bring my family into that one. And Rachel, hey patron, she'll probably only do that one. I don't know. It better smell like candy and not like how it did in The Exorcist. That's all I have to say about it.
Ooh, don't mind me. It actually makes me sad because I know that this year is a year where I'm going to be very busy in the fall. So I don't know that it's going to be a year that I can go a lot. And I'm like, dang, this would have the potential to be a 2018, 2019 year for me. So hopefully I get to go more than I think I can, but it's going to be a wild time. I'm super excited about it.
I know
I
my
think
favorite. Sorry.
you go.
I know one of my favorite parts of Sweet Revenge were the trick-or-treaters and their different costumes and stuff. I don't know how much they're going to feature. I know it says the kids are going to try to kill you when the free samples turn them deranged and murderous. But is it going to be like Halloween 3, like when the kids put on the masks and then, they die and lose their brains? Or is it going to be, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be like, but I hope some of our favorite characters from HHN 31 Sweet Revenge show up in here, but maybe it's just generic kids. I don't know.
I really hope it's not just a repeat of what was on the street into a zone or into a house. Like, I want to see the same like costumes because like that big baby head was so funny. Like, I'd love to see like stuff like that, or like, I don't know. I hope we see the lady. What was her name? With the pink hair. I can't think his like assistant. I can't think of her name right now, but she stood by the truck.
Like Mrs. Sweets or something.
Mrs. Sweets. I think, yeah, and like the mayor. Like, I hope we
There's
and
so many
Grandpa.
Sweet Revenge stands who are just going to
I know.
get in the comments. Get in the comments.
Literally. I hope Grandpa's in there. But I hope it's not just like a rehashing of the street. If that makes sense. Like,
That's fair.
give me like I want it to be like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yes.
Like, I
want
want
it to
that.
be full on factory.
Could you
Like,
imagine a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory house though?
ooh, that would be crazy.
That would
That'd
be
be
kind of
really
fun.
cool.
I can see it.
Like, especially if it was like a twisted fairy tales kind of thing, like a scary tale.
It's just the boat
cemented.
scene the entire time. It's just the boat scene from the original. That's it.
I would cry.
I would hate it. Slay.
It was Miss Sweets, by the way. So
Miss
I mean, you can still get in the
Sweets, or-
comments. Hopefully, you've already gotten to the comments. It helps the algorithm. But if not, Miss Sweets. Sorry.
Heard.
Stands.
I think this year was that all the originals that we have? Was that 6?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh.
Monstruos, Major Sweets, Goblin's Feast, Triplets,
Yeah.
Museum,
I'm
and
looking
of
at
course,
my,
Otter Cinema too.
I started my Horror Nights bracelet ideas list because I'm starting soon on bracelets. I will be stocked. I will be passing 150 like I made last year. But I wrote down, I would write down anything that's being thrown around or rumored just because like it's fun to have other horror stuff. So I was like, wait. And I'm like, no. Like Scream is on here. The day. Woo.
I mean, they're working with Paramount on Quiet Place. It could happen. Could be fun. Could
Wait.
be fun.
Wait, I didn't even think about the fact that they're working with Paramount now.
Oh yeah, they're working with the big mountain guy. Which means we're one step closer to Spock and Kirk at Horror Nights. Bring back the Star Trek Screen Home Adventure.
We need
Universal, if you're listening.
we need Scooby-Doo. I seriously think that would be a fantastic. I know we've talked about it a ton on here, but
course.
like I've seen so many people on TikTok, like that one. What's his name? Jake. His profile is like purple on TikTok. He's mentioned a Scooby Doo house before. I think it'd be so good, and I like Universal Creative. Hello, hello.
That's
I
creative.
personally, I know this is not what we're doing this episode, but I personally think it would be awesome if it was like very classic Scooby-Doo and it was like comic booky, like it was very
Yeah.
like cartoony. Because I mean, it would be great if they did like Spooky Island, but I think it'd be even like more fun if they did like a very comic-y, like
Mhm.
cartoony-esque, colorful,
Give
spooky,
me
silly
like a
monsters.
comic book house with like where they do the dots on the face. Like, give me that.
Yeah.
Give me that.
Start the rumors now. Triplets of Terror is a replacement for the Scooby Doo house. That's the honest truth. We heard it from a inside source named Balthasar.
So start spreading that around, everybody. I know you like to
Balthasar
talk.
is so accurate all the time.
Y'all like to talk on HHN Twitter.
Up there
Y'all
with
spread
Legacy.
some stuff around. So get this spread around.
Hallowed Out Horror, same class.
Look at this handsome gentleman behind you, Adam.
That's Botanicus, E.T.'s teacher. He just got a slaying new
He
cape.
got a new cape. It
proud.
sparkles. It's glittery. He's so great.
I read his book, E.T.
book?
Look at the Green Planet. Find out your local Amazon third-party seller.
Period.
It's an experience. Maybe one day I'll do an audiobook version of it because it's a trip. It's a freaking trip.
Oh, Tiana's. It's opening this month.
Yeah, hopefully I preview it the Friday after we record this.
Oh, I didn't get a preview spot. You're so lucky. I do have a reservation for opening day though, so.
Nice.
I was gonna say I won't be previewing, but I think I'm gonna be there opening weekend, so I'm super excited. I have tried to avoid too many spoilers, but from what I've seen, it looks absolutely incredible. I think it's gonna be really fun. I don't care what Twitter says.
Yes. I just think that people need to realize that it's in technical rehearsal and it's a water ride with so many very intricate and like crazy animatronics right near the water. So things are going to go down and things are not going to work. Splash Mountain went down 90 times a day every day. So, as disappointing as it may be, I think people need to relax.
I agree.
I'm
And
going to ride it
also-
once because I hate water rides, but I love Tiana. But I'm so hyped.
Also, I need everyone to forget that I said this when I complain about dinosaur being murdered, but theme parks evolve. Things change. It's okay. And it's amazing that we get these new experiences. I'll never forgive them for killing dinosaur though, but
No, literally, like they're going to have to like scrape us off the pavement. Like we're chaining ourselves to the building. Like, sorry.
I'm still chained to Disney Quest.
I want to take the
Yeah.
iguanodon home. Do you think they'd give them to me? If I ask, do you think they're gonna go to the outlet, the Lakeland Antique Mall?
They're gonna
Can
put
we have
that
shared
to
custody?
the
Could you
archives.
imagine if they went to the outlet, the Disney Parks outlet, and not the Lakeland Antique Mall?
The
I would
Disney
buy him
different.
so fast.
That iguanodon would take up the entirety of the massive Lakeland Antique Mall. Could you imagine just walking in there? Well, first off, they still have the Velociraptor up there, so that's fun walking into every time you go. But could you just imagine back in the distance, you just see the iguanodon or that Triramposaurus?
What about the big Carnotaur head that falls on you? I'd take that.
I'd
In
take
my
that
bedroom,
too.
wake up every morning, and go, ah!
Oh geez, that would be horrifying.
I-
That
Ceiling
scarred
fan or
me as a kid.
Carnotaur? I can't decide.
I want one of the vehicles. I want one of the ride vehicles.
Honestly,
really
they're
bad.
they're probably gonna repurpose those.
Oh, 100%.
I bet you they're gonna use like the same kind of track. I mean,
If
we've
it's
heard
indie, 100%.
it's probably gonna be indie, yeah, which would
It'll be down for like a year. It's gonna be we're gonna be so back. Like it's fine.
I hate to say I'm pro indie. I am pro indie. I'm just not pro killing dinosaur to get it.
No, literally, like build another one. Like
We took
Y'all
out
built the ride twice. Just build it a third time. Third time's a charm. Maybe this one won't break as much.
we took
Exactly.
out Primeval Whirl. There's enough room there for Indiana Jones.
Yeah, there's a
obviously.
giant freaking lot of nothing used and picnic benches and ugly fans and nothing going on in Dinosaur World anymore, which also may prove their point of wanting to bulldoze it. But
Well, they did it. They did it to themselves.
no, literally, this was all their fault, and now they're gonna deal with the wrath
Wrath. Yeah.
and of us,
Uh-huh.
and they're not gonna be able to stop us because we are
No.
what? We are one. Dinosaur on 3. 1, 2, 3, dinosaur.
So,
Dinosaur.
This is me talking about. That's me talking about dinosaur. Momo.
Did we have more things to discuss today?
I could talk about the Bureau.
What's the bureau? Oh.
Do we want to
yes.
make that a bonus episode, or
We can.
Ooh, we can do that for bonus.
Let's do it as a bonus. Yeah.
let's do it as a bonus? But we have
Let's
time.
do
I
it
have
as
a few more minutes.
Yeah, I got a little bit.
Okay, cool.
It's
Well-
911. Shorty fire burning up the dance floor.
Whoa.
Did you see that he got raided too? One of my friend was like, someone did call 911.
Shawty fire burning on the dance floor.
Oh,
Special thanks to our patrons. Landon Kanoki, Jonathan Edward, Jordan Buster, Greg Harvey, Joshua Gonzalez, Jen Harvey, and Dwayne and Teresa Diker. Join our Patreon at patreon.com/themeparkworkshop to support our show and get bonus episodes, updates, and more. We love you, patrons. We couldn't do this without you. But now that we've gotten our patrons out of the way, not that we're trying to get the patrons out of the way. Y'all are awesome.
get out of the way.
Y'all are
Get
so
out of the way. Please don't get out of the way. We love you so much.
Y'all are all awesome.
I'm
But
about to say y'all are awful.
no, awesome.
Hashtag Adam is canceled party.
Not again.
It looks like the arms are coming out of the seat.
This is what you pay for.
First, Dead Man's Pier Winter's Wake. Now this.
Now this fiasco. But I love it. I love it. Bella, where can the people find you should they choose?
You can find me on Instagram at Flynn Rider's Nose. And you can find me on Twitter at Bella Harvey with 2 Y's. And then I will be bringing back the Theme Park Workshop Twitter. I will. I'm going to try and be funny and we're going to bring it back to life. So if you can find me over there, it's workshop _TP dash.
No, it's just Workshop TP.
You tripped me up. Workshop TP.
Well, I was about to cross my T, but then I thought you had it.
Oh, it looked like a dash. Workshop TP.
I understand you.
She will be brought back to life. And I will try to be funny. So go give it a follow, please, because she's struggling.
And Kelly, where can the people find you?
Hello. The people cannot find me. I'm invisible. I'm just kidding.
Correct.
You can find me on the Twitters. We're not calling it the other name still, at killer_Kells. And you can find me on Instagram at kells.hoff. Kells is always with an S. And you can also find me on our Theme Park Workshop Instagram and TikTok, both named Theme Park Workshop. Unfortunately, I have also been slacking. I bought a new house, and it is
It's a swamp, actually.
it's actually Shrek Swamp.
Any
Wait,
house in Florida.
show them your walk. Show them your walk.
Oh yes, okay. Hold please.
Please watch her walk. Please, looks like she's walking out of the house.
We're easily...
No, but I bought a real house, and don't ask me how I did it. I just did it. It was hard. But we bought a house, very exciting, and it has taken over my whole life because turns out owning a house just means you constantly have projects, and I'm still not even unpacked, and it's been like what, a month? So apologies for the Instagram and TikTok being crickets, but again, Bella and I will be encouraging each other to bring these platforms back for you. Let us know in the comments, actually, bring us that engagement on whatever platform you're listening to. Let us know what you want to see on all of those sites, and we will give them to you.
Adam,
And
where can they
Adam-
find you?
Adam, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at AdamJ_film. You can also find me on the Patreon. But yeah, which is, I almost forgot to give the URL to Patreon again. That's patreon.com/theme park workshop. Run that little shindig over there. I think I'm caught up on bonus episodes. We're about to record a new bonus episode very shortly about a very exciting thing on iDrive. I was about to say I4. Technically, but iDrive is really what it is. International Drive. It has nothing to do with I4. Screw that noise. iDrive. If you want to know what I'm talking about, join the Patreon. $5. But yes, as the lady said, comments and go ahead and let us know what you want from us. We have plans, but we also want to know what you want. Come on, tell us what you want, what you really, really want. Come on, tell us what you want, what you really, really want. If you want to be my lover.
I want to really want to get you to sign up for our Patreon.
Brilliant.
If you want to be my patron, you gotta listen to the pod.
Yeah.
You technically don't have to listen to the pod, but like you should.
That's the way it is.
If you want to be my patron, you have got to give money to the
$5.
Patreon. That's the way it is. Are we gonna get copyright stricken?
I don't think anything was intelligible, so no.
It's everybody down the bottom.
That's our Chicken Little reference for the evening. And with that, we wish you adieu. See you next time.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. Bye.